Saying good morning to our listeners via Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing via GBN TV, whether it's channel 711 or channels 20. Good morning. Our social media platforms. Well, I should just say basically the YouTube channel. Our Facebook page is down for a wee bit. Let me say good morning once again. Welcome to the mid-morning buzz, and I do have some folks hanging with me this morning from the SDA school. It's how do you guys say St. George's? Seventh-day Adventist. Hey, forgive me on that. All right, welcome with me this morning. Of course, we have Kedeem Strachan with me this morning. We also have Samuel Bonapart with me this morning, and via social media, I have Miss Ruby Batiste, or Mrs. Ruby Batiste. She will correct me when we do introduce. So welcome all, and good morning to everyone.
Oh, thank you for having us.
All right.
Good morning. Thank you again.
It's the SDA School 50th anniversary. And what I've been told behind the scene, let's go over to Ruby and say good morning to everybody. I hope you don't mind me calling you by the first name. Good morning to you. For some reason or the other, I'm having a wee bit of problem with your audio for some reason or the other. I'm not sure why. It could be a connection wise, but we're probably going to come back to Ruby shortly. Let's speak to Samuel and Kedeem this morning. Tell us about the anniversary, what's happening in terms of the 50th anniversary. Tell us about it.
Certainly. St. George's SDA Primary School recognizes a milestone this year, this September. In September 1973, the school opened its doors, accepting registered children, 207 registered children, and 5 teachers started off on the very first day of the school. The teachers were Mrs. Gertrude Moore. She acted as a principal at that time because the principal who was appointed, Miss Winifred Granger, well-known Winifred Granger, she taught at Woburn, I think one time at Springs and Wesley Hall. She went off on study leave. So during that first year, Mrs. Gertrude Moore headed the school. We had 4 other teachers, Mr. James Finley, then Mr. Joel Hippolyte. We also had Mrs. Claudia Morgan Carter and Miss Carol Jones. These were the first teachers at the school.
All right.
207, which was remarkable considering it's a new school.
I was probably in reproductive stages during those time.
Increased over time.
I wasn't even so far advanced.
But it's happy to know that, to be able to celebrate such a milestone. You understand, in terms of the school. The list of activities coming up, I'm assuming with this 50th anniversary, there's lots planned out for in terms of what's been taking place. Tell us about some of the activities planned.
Yes, we have planned events, 5 main events during the course of a period of 2 weeks. It has been a collaboration with past students or alumni, a group of past students, and the current staff and children at the school. So the first event takes place this Sunday, 27th of August, at the Tantin Recreational Ground. We call it a fun day meet and greet. And so we invite in all past students of the school, parents, current parents and children, and all well-wishers of the school, because we know the school has great support out there to be part of the occasion. It starts at 11 a.m. We're preparing brunch, so persons, especially persons who have not tasted the Grenada coconut bakes for a while, another thing is the opportunity to come and partake of it. Also, we're going to have some games, and so we're looking at doing some traditional games because, my generation and maybe Ruby generation, they played different games to what Kedeem and the younger generation played.
I know. Those were the good old days,
yes,
you would say.
Yes, good old days. So we're going to have some traditional games, and so we'll have a photo booth set up, booth so past students and so can have the opportunity to take photos and so. The Wednesday night, the 30th, Wednesday is the 30th, yes. So Wednesday night we planned a concert at GBSS, where we're going to involve past students to come and display their talents. Also, current students of the school will also participate in it. It's gonna be like a variety concert because we're gonna have a bit of drama. We're gonna have instrumental music, group singing, and so invitation again, all past students, and so be part of it. The cost. I don't look at it so much as a cost, a contribution.
What do you mean
of
contributing to the
$20,
event?
for adults and children under 12 and under $10. Now, the whole objective in everything that is going on for the occasion is ultimately we want to make contributions to the school. So money is raised, we go back to the school and so forth. Then the Sunday the 3rd, let me quickly move on. Sunday the 3rd, we're having a beach outing at Monrouge Bay, but better known as BBC Beach. We'll be down there, we'll cook, and so we'll be housed at the Wildwood Park, so persons can come, you'll have access. If there's need for shelter, we'll be down at the Wildwood Park. Then the Saturday the 3rd, we're having a special church service at St. George's SDA Archibald Church,
yes.
St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Church, Archibald Avenue. It has been the home church of the school over the years. Probably Kedeem will tell you about the Children's Day program. And finally, we're having a gala the 10th. The gala would be at the Point Salines Hotel. The cost of the ticket is $125, and for persons who did not obtain the tickets as yet, tickets are still available, limited amount, so indicate as fast as you could, because we want everybody to be there.
Tell me, 50th anniversary, what was the reason behind it? I understand it's 50 years. I mean, it has gone on, that's a lot of years for a school and past people to so 50th anniversary, why decide to do it this time around?
Well, the occasion is the 1973. In September, the school started. 50 years is a milestone.
Yes, it is.
Especially when it comes to an organization, and so 50 years, you can't just let that go by just like that. So we'd like to mark it with recognizing it as a special occasion and recognizing to the sacrifice that was made by the early teachers, and so the St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Church. The pastor at the time, Pastor A.B. Noel, along with members. My understanding growing up here in the stories, it was a divisive issue, but as time went on, persons settled down, and the accomplishment of the school speaks for itself today. So, yes, 50 years, grand occasion.
All right. Let me see if we could get to speak to Ruby once again. There's always that saying, age before beauty. Before I come to you, Karen, let's speak to Ruby.
Yes,
Ruby, good morning. I hope your audio is working a little better. Good morning to you once again.
Good morning. How are you? Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear. I've been told that you are one of the past pupils of his, maybe from the early stages of it. So, tell us how was it for you back then at being a past pupil of the SDA?
Well, I was one of the first students there, and the thing what happened is that I came from an all-girls school, and going into a school with boys and girls, it was a little bit kind of, let's say, pretty kind of scary, Boys can make you kind of scared. Yeah, so getting there, it was very nice. Was kids from different schools came in, and then we all, they had different classes, and at that school, I can say I really achieved a lot because, number one, I got to go to a higher class when I got there. I got to be in different things like I got to get into different things. I got to get into sports. I got to go into the choir, and all these things, So that was very good for me. I think it was a great move that my mom did to send me to that school. And I meet with different kids of different ages. The teachers was very good. The principal at the time was Miss Gertrude Moore. She was very, very nice principal. But then Miss Granger come. Miss Granger was very nice, was very much more firm teacher. You couldn't mess around with her, but still, it was very good. And we achieved a lot from the school. From the very beginning, we achieved a lot at the school. We got to play sports. The only thing is that we didn't have like a place to play sports, so we used to be in the churchyard. We played on the roadside, right on the road. We played there, so that was about it, and Even though wasn't too sure about the boys and them, I ended up having one of the boys as a best friend. I can call his name Philo. Yeah.
So tell me, you being one of the early past pupils, how was it like for you being able now to be celebrating that 50th anniversary? How was it like? How do you feel about that now?
Oh, that is awesome. I dream about this day. I really dream. And the sad thing is that I would not be able to be there to participate in it because of work-wise, yeah. But I had dreamed about that day, and I think it's awesome, for we the past students to see how the school achieve and strive in so many ways, especially with the kids doing so well. I mean, this school is doing so well as far as I hear. And I had my siblings went there, my nieces, my cousins, my sisters went there, so this is a very awesome time for me. So reach 50 years, that's a milestone. It's very, very good.
All right, nice to hear that, Ruby. Let's speak to Kedeem a wee bit, the younger of the group here this morning. I'm assuming you've been also a past student, right?
Yes.
Yes. Tell me, how does it feel to know that the milestone that the school has gone to, you being able to attend? How does it feel? How does it feel for you? How was it like in terms of I'm assuming you love school last year.
Maybe law school.
I'm just kidding. Being a past pupil, I'm assuming you've been out of there a couple of years now, but going to school there and hearing from the older folks who have been there before you, and and what you have gained to being a past pupil, how does it feel?
I mean, it's incredible, and it's a moment of pride to be able to see the school, your alma mater, celebrate 50 years. And that's a great deal of time to be celebrating. And I must say, I feel like there isn't a more deserving institution to be able to have stood as an institution for that long. Certainly during my time there, I can echo the sentiments of Ruby in terms of the experience there. One thing I feel that was underscored throughout my time there was the Christ-centered nature of the tutelage that we were receiving. So we were involved in a lot of activities. So it was from Adventurers Club to Sunshine Bible Club to tennis to all sorts of sports. The school always kept the students engaged, so that you never wanted for anything in terms of activities and so on. And it's also interesting hearing from pupils like Ruby, who were some of the first students there, to seeing how differently their experience was in terms of, she was saying that they didn't have much of a place to play. But I recall that during my tenure, we actually had an entire court and grass field on which.
Exactly.
So it's good to see.
So you get the better portion of the school.
Stories like that, then you can see how far the school has
grown
and what they have done to grow. So it's really incredible for us to be able to celebrate 50 years. I mean, I'm incredibly proud of the school. Even to this day, whenever I see like CPEA results come out and I see St. George's Estate Primary in the top 50, I'm like, yeah.
I'm assuming it makes you feel good being a past pupil yourself in terms of the accomplishments of the school. How does it make you feel?
I mean, it feels incredible. It makes you feel quite proud to know that you've attended an institution that has been able to do so much. And I think it in part is due to the Christ-centered nature of the education we received. And certainly the school has produced a myriad of individuals in a lot of different fields in Grenada. You have people in medicine, people in education, people in pharmaceutical studies, persons, even a music producer. One of the producers for Vaughn's song this year is actually a past student of the Estate Primary School. So it's good to see that, such an institution that is sometimes ignored or sometimes not given the due credit that it deserves.
Sometimes it's not seen as the so-called premier schools
on the island, is still able to do so much in terms of the people that it produces and the adults that they become. So it's incredibly heartwarming whenever the school does well, and I'm happy to be celebrating with the school the 50th year.
All right. Let's go back, of course, to Mr. Bonapart. Tell us how you feel about the accomplishment of the school for the last 50 years also.
Great. Kedeem mentioned the CPA results, and to tell you, for the 7th consecutive year, the school has received 100% pass the CPA of the CPA results. And the thing is, this year we know that everybody moved up to secondary school. But even with that, the children achieve the pass mark. So if you did not have that, still you would get the 100% results. So that's remarkable. Also in terms of the science fair, and so when they used to have that, the school used to do well. You think of the debates, remember the Grand Lake debates? The school used to be featured prominently in that. And as Kedeem said, the areas, you look at all walks of life, persons who you can say achieve have been through the school. And also thinking of it, I mentioned that some time ago, the diverse nature of the education at the school. You know, it's not just basically academic. And so in my time, the principal, Miss Granger, her focus was a lot on music and singing and choirs and so. And over the years, what impressed me with the school, you see, I've always been close to the school. My wife teaches at the school for over 20 years, and I've never really left the school. I go to the church upstairs. It's always in the environment. And yet, so I was saying, over the years, the succeeding principals, when Miss Granger retired, we had Mrs. Sharon Duncan, then Mrs. Vodlin Bernard, Mrs. Jacqueline Noel. They continued the standard of the school, and that is one of the remarkable things of St. George's SDA Primary. And the school is in high demand. It's in high demand. If you don't register your child for next year, you might get left.
Let me ask Ruby this also. Tell me, let's rate the comparison. 50 years, and you're comparing it. Let's say the last 40 years. How do you rate the comparison of the school from back then to now?
Oh, they have achieved a lot from back then. I'm telling you, they really achieved a whole lot, because we started, 200 and something. I'm sure there's a vast much more at this point, I think it's, they really had come very, very far, yeah.
Tell me, what would you guys like to see, in terms of the overall development of the school, even more in some of the standard that it's at now? What would you like to see more about the school?
Well, first of all, a building that will adequately house the school with all the facilities and so. I don't have the authority to speak, but I know in the upcoming months it will be quite visible that we're moving into that direction. And for the school, continue to lift up the high standard, maintain the high standard and so forth, and yes, continue to do the remarkable job the teachers and so are doing. It's if you were to visit the school, it's housed downstairs the church, limited space, and sometimes you have these open classes. The senior area is open classes. Even from my time, I heard one of the past teachers mention that one class had 50 and 40 something.
But then it still rain results. I mean, if you think about the comparison of it, and you're saying now is an up-in time, now this 50th anniversary to mobilize the past pupils, have the conversation with them in terms of the development of the school now. I think it could be a good opportunity to come. You never know, they're probably a millionaire, you never know, right?
Maybe you can give us a generous donation.
Make a donation and make a contribution in terms of
that is being looked at as we speak. Also, in terms of the church, church that houses the school, the church has its program where they raise funds. Right now, they have an ongoing program called the Granger. St. Bernard Granger was the first principal. St. Bernard, Roy St. Bernard, was an ardent supporter of the school until he passed earlier this year in January. Very committed man who will be there showing up at the social events, sports, graduations, and so the fund is named after him, and also the first principal, Miss Granger. So persons listening can contribute to that fund. It goes a long way in helping needy students, especially as we prepare for this upcoming term.
All right. I keep seeing someone is calling. I want to assume it could be a past pupil. Let me say good morning. Good morning to you, caller.
Hello, good morning to you. I'm happy you're able to take my call. This is Glenda Mason Francis speaking a retired principal of the Anglican High School. I would like to publicly thank the school because they contributed largely to the success of the Anglican High School. This school fed their pupils to high school as a girls' school. From the days of Mrs. Granger, Mrs. Duncan Sheeran went there to Anglican High School, and now we have Mrs. Alison Prince. Her daughters also went to Anglican High School, and they have excelled in the school. The school got its name of excellence from these students who came from this school to the Anglican High School. I would also like to say that thanks to this Seventh-day Adventist school, we got our musicians. The young girls who came in, they played the piano, they led the choir, they sang. We won lots of prizes, arts festival, and different occasions. And as you said a while ago, the debaters in the school, all students, past students of the Seventh-day Adventist school. So I would like to publicly thank them, congratulate them, and wish them all the best and success in the future.
All right, thank you. Thank you also very much.
Thank you very much. Happy to hear Mrs. Mason Francis.
Yeah, so true, so true. Now we're about to wrap, and I'm still seeing the calls are coming, and I'm sure it's another individual who want to show some thanks, share some their thoughts also. Let's go back to the line and entertain this caller for the final one. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Yes, good morning. I am Sister Maki, as Sam and so knows me. 3 of my children went there. I have 4 children. But the first one did not go there because the school was not open yet. And I haven't regretted. And I'm congratulating SDA on the 50th anniversary. And I know the success will keep going on and on. And I hope, and may God continue to bless them, bless the teachers, and all who is in the environment. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, you hear you can hear the passion in some of the individuals who may have passed through in terms of their sons and daughters and so forth. And I'm sure you would like to make that appeal to encourage folks to come on out and be part of the anniversary, the events that are put on. And any final take that you want to take before we take a wrap?
Oh yes, certainly. We're inviting all the past students and past students out there who listening to us this morning. Please share the word. Over 50 years, you could imagine we have thousands of past students out there. Yeah. We know it's been a challenge.
Something could turn out to be a grand celebration.
Yeah,
something could turn out to be
opportunity for a reunion. There are past students. I met a couple of them who came in for the occasion. One of our very first teachers, Mr. Joel Hippolyte, is here, and more persons like Ruby. I know Ruby has been emotional not getting the opportunity to be here, but certainly would like to encourage persons to make the effort if you can. If you can visit participate in all of the activities, try your best to. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3, try your best. I believe I made an error when I said the church service is the 3rd. The church service is the 9th of September.
9th of September.
Yeah, the 9th of September.
All right.
And the past pupils, along with the present pupils, they are going to lead out in the service. Starts at 9 a.m. Please come on time because we might have a big turnout that day. We are going to have a large turnout that day.
All right. And Ruby, I know the feeling you have not being able to be here. I know you would have loved to participate in all of the events that are coming up, and of course share the memory, of course get the chance to meet past pupils that you may have associated with back then, and of course to regain some memory.
Yes, that's right. I really wish I could be there. I wish a magic wand could just sing and I reach there, but it wouldn't happen. So thank you for having us on the buzz. We really appreciate it. And we asking all the past students and even the present one, and people associated with us to come and join us in this grand affair. It will be very, 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 very good. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having us on the buzz.
Thank you also, Ruby. Have a great day yourself. Kedeem, any final before we make a wrap this morning?
Well, just to echo the sentiments of Mr. Bonapart and Ms. Batiste again, to encourage all past pupils to attend and participate in the activities of the upcoming 50th anniversary celebration of the school. I mean, there are enough activities for someone to at least attend one or two. So I know the school has achieved a lot, and I think from speaking with past pupils myself, even lifelong friends that I've had are people that I went to school with.
Great.
And I know that they are grateful for the education they received there and the principles that were instilled in them there. So I think that this is a good occasion to celebrate that and to meet other persons who came before us and get to network and possibly see what we can do to improve the standard of the school as well.
All right, great. I want to thank you folks for coming and share the information this morning. Certainly, of course, all who are viewing and listening, and they are past pupils themselves, well wishers themselves, could just actually just come and attend and be part of the celebration. Certainly. I mean, something to be part of. I feel it's like Grenada's independence to a point.
If I could just quickly interject, we have a Facebook page, St. George's SDA Primary School Alumni. So if you're a past student of the school, St. George's SDA Primary School Alumni on Facebook, just send in your application, your request, and we'll accept you. We're trying to accommodate as much past students as possible.
All right.
And also, if you need information, 415, this phone number, 415-6945, call, or you can send a WhatsApp message.
All right, great.
Thank you very much, and for accommodating us.
Thank you so much also for being part of the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. And best wishes for the event, and certainly hope all works out well.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks, as we take a wrap for today's program, join us again for another edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio. All the best, folks. Have a great day.